My name is Marilyn Eichelberger, and this is my lesson plan for 8th grade art. My Common Core standards are, the first one is for English language arts and literacy with a focus for 8th grade, and it's to demonstrate command of the conventions of standard English grammar and usage when writing or speaking. And then my visual art standard for 8th grade is revised personal artwork based on feedback, such as peer feedback, self-assessment, and teacher assessment. My objective for student learning for this lesson is that the learner will change his or her artwork based on the top 3 things that the class and teacher agree would make the artwork more successful based on the principles of design. And this would be something that was taught from the very beginning and would be an ongoing conversation, so it would be in the vernacular of the students. And the learner will practice speaking in an intelligent manner when critiquing the artist who is showing his or her artwork to the classroom. And why have I chosen these objectives? Being able to have your peers critique your artwork allows students to learn how to take constructive criticism. And this is a really important life skill, not only for future learning, but for life in general. When you enter the workforce, you get feedback every 3 to 6 months on how you're doing, and it's important to learn how to be able to take that criticism in a positive way. Students will correctly and intelligently express their thoughts on their artwork, on the artwork of the student being critiqued, and being able to speak the English language well is a must for college and being successful at life. The way that I will group students for instruction will be, they'll be grouped together as a whole group, while the student who is presenting his artwork to the class will be at the front of the classroom alone. The grouping will be informal, and we will review expectations on participation and respect. Everyone must participate and treat the student at the front of the classroom with respect, and opinions must be backed up with art history vocabulary that we will learn throughout the semester, the principles of design, and art history, which will also be learned throughout the semester. After the critiquing has taken place for all the students in the class, which usually takes 2 to 3 days, just depending on how big the class is, the students will then work alone to make changes to his or her artwork based on the critique of the group. Even when working alone, those students are still grouped together around round tables to encourage camaraderie and just enjoying each other and having fun in class. I have chosen this grouping because I want to encourage the students to be active in participation throughout the classroom. Every student is expected to give their opinion throughout the 45-minute class, and the environment is going to be laid back, but the students know that the expectation is for lively conversation spoken intelligently. I'm able to assess student involvement easily this way and encourage more feedback as needed. Once the critiquing is finished and the students are ready to make corrective changes to their artwork, they will work alone but alongside other students in the classroom. What teaching method will I be using for this lesson? The methods that I will use for this lesson will include modeling, guided practice, corrective feedback, and cooperative learning through the use of informal whole grouping. The first 3 methods are explicit teaching methods, and the last method is Marzano's 3rd strategy for effective learning. I've chosen these methods because of several different reasons. I've chosen to do modeling and guided practice because when art students first begin critiquing other students' artworks, they must be taught how to do it. It isn't inherently obvious to them. Critiquing can also be really overwhelming. Students don't like to say anything negative about another person's artwork, so I'm going to model how to critique by probably critiquing one of my own art pieces or a famous artist's painting or sculpture, and I will model how to do it correctly and then what it looks like when it's done incorrectly. After I model for them, then we will do guided practice so that they can practice my modeling. I will monitor their participation and gently give them corrective feedback for mistakes and use students from past years who are in that current class as well to help with guiding them as well, students who are intelligent but kind. And eventually this will lead to independent practice on future critiques, but not this first one. Informal whole grouping leads to a casual and fun atmosphere that encourages talking and learning. And after the students at the front of the classroom are critiqued for their artwork, they will then need to rework it. So not only will corrective feedback be a part of the method for learning how to critique, but it will also be a method used to have students make changes to their artwork. The critiquing of the artwork is in itself a corrective feedback of the artwork.